What just happened in London has the entire music industry on fire. No one saw this coming. Fans were expecting a concert. But Kendrick Lamar and SZA gave them a full-on emotional earthquake. Thousands stood frozen. Some cried, others screamed. And one moment, just one, changed everything. Midway through their explosive Grand National Tour stop at London's O2 Arena, the lights dimmed, the crowd hushed. And what followed was a performance so raw, so unexpected, and so visceral fans say they'll never recover. Phones were shaking. Security was crying. Even seasoned reporters were left speechless. No one knew what they had just witnessed, but everyone knew it was historic. But here's the real kicker. What Kendrick said right after that performance left SZA stunned. The crowd in complete disbelief, and the entire internet melting down. Some say it was a goodbye. Others say it was a warning. One insider even claims it was a direct shot at Drake and the entire mainstream machine. And the footage. It's already being deleted, but we have the leaks. So what really went down in London? Why is everyone saying this moment will never be repeated? And how did this shake the entire hip-hop world? Let's break it all down to understand just how earth-shattering Kendrick Lamar and SZA's London performance was. We need to go back, way back, because this moment wasn't just about music. It was about revenge, redemption, and revolution. Kendrick and SZA, two of the most soul-shaking artists of our generation, have always walked their own lane. From the minute SZA's voice touched all the stars to Kendrick's Pulitzer-winning Damn, they haven't just made music. They've rewritten what music can feel like. Their energy together, unmatched. Their pain, palpable. And their message, always bigger than the charts. But lately, the pressure's been mounting. Since the Grand National Tour kicked off, whispers have been swirling about whether Kendrick and SZA could keep up with the hype. Every night, they delivered bangers. Cities around the world lit up. But behind the scenes, drama was brewing. Secret meetings, label arguments, mysterious contract shifts. Even reports that SZA almost pulled out of the European leg altogether due to creative clashes. One insider claimed Kendrick had grown distant. He was laser-focused, but cold, like he was building toward something that no one else was ready for. And then, there was London, the cultural heartbeat of Europe. A city that doesn't just watch hip-hop. They dissect it, elevate it, live it. From Brixton to Shoreditch, from pirate radio to the underground grime scene, London fans know real energy when they feel it. And when Kendrick and SZA announced they were co-headlining the O2 Arena, tickets vanished in minutes. Scalpers were charging thousands. People were flying in from Paris, Berlin, even Johannesburg, just to witness what they thought would be another legendary night. But Kendrick had other plans. The tension started building days before the show. SZA was spotted arriving separately from the tour team. Social media users noticed that all promotional material suddenly changed. Posters and teasers were updated to say something special is coming. Then, on the day of the performance, cryptic tweets from both artists dropped within seconds of each other. Kendrick tweeted, "This is bigger than rap." SZA followed, "Tonight, I set myself free." The internet went into panic mode. Were they quitting? Collabing on a diss track? Was this a farewell, or was something even darker happening behind the curtain? Then came the leaks. A stagehand at the O2 who claimed to be risking his whole job To Speak Out posted a now-deleted TikTok showing a black envelope being delivered to Kendrick's dressing room. "They ain't rehearsed this part," he whispered in the video. "Whatever's about to happen, it ain't in the script." And he wasn't lying as fans packed into the O2 that night. The vibe was different. Electric, yes, but nervous. Like everyone knew something was coming, but no one could put their finger on it. Opening acts finished early. House lights stayed dim longer than usual. And then boom, the floor shook. A spotlight dropped on Kendrick, dressed in all white, standing completely still. No intro, no DJ, no beats, just silence. And then he spoke. "London, we've been quiet too long." That was the moment it all began. But before we get to what he said and what SZA did, let's talk about their recent history, because what unfolded on that stage was not just music. It was a declaration. Over the past year, Kendrick and SZA have both been under unrelenting fire from the media, from haters, and yes, even from other artists. After the Not Like Us performance in Paris went viral, SZA allegedly received calls warning her not to align herself too closely with Kendrick during this tour. Sources say one industry giant, whom many believe too, Drake's former manager, told her bluntly, "If you ride with him now, don't expect favors later." And as for Kendrick, ever since his public fallout with the industry elite and his independent moves with PG Lang, he's been untouchable, and not in a good way. They're scared of him, one Atlantic Records executive reportedly said. Not because he's violent, 'cause he's free. Fans have speculated for months that the Grand National Tour is Kendrick's swan song, that he's wrapping up something legendary and planning to vanish from the public eye. And she's been dropping hints in lyrics, interviews, even Instagram captions about reclaiming her power, so now all eyes were on them. Two renegades, one stage, a city of millions watching. And in that moment, before the lights fully came on, everyone knew something was coming. But nobody was ready for what happened next, because when SZA took the mic, she didn't sing. She exposed everything. The crowd was already standing, cameras up, hearts pounding. Kendrick had dropped that eerie line, "London, we've been quiet too long." The lights snapped out again. Then, like a lightning strike, a single piano note echoed through the arena. It was empty, vulnerable, aching. And then SZA walked out. But this wasn't the SZA fans expected. This wasn't the confident, ethereal queen who floats across stages. No, she was tense, focused, dressed in a simple black hoodie with one word across her chest in bold red letters: truth. She took the mic slowly, looked at Kendrick, looked at the audience, and then she said, "Y'all think this is just another show? This man right here." She paused. The silence was violent. He told me the truth. About everything. About them, about what we've been used for. The crowd gasped. Phones were trembling. People didn't know if this was part of the performance or an actual onstage implosion. Then she turned to Kendrick and said quietly, "Should I show them?" Kendrick nodded once. The massive screen behind them suddenly lit up. What played next was not a music video, it was surveillance footage. Blurry black and white clips began rolling. Kendrick sitting in a dim-lit office talking to two suited men. One of them had his face blurred. The captions read, "You follow through with this tour, and the pressure on PG Lang ends. We bury the evidence." What evidence? Who were these men? Before the screen could finish, SZA cut it. "That's enough," she whispered. The audience was frozen. This wasn't a performance. This was an expose. A call-out. A bombshell. And then Kendrick dropped the beat. Not just any beat. It was a brand new, never heard before, instrumental, dark, haunting, thunderous. And what Kendrick began rapping over that beat changed everything. They said, "Don't speak up. Keep the chain tight, but I'm done playing checkers in a snake. Fight labels got gods in a death bind. I seen what they did to then, it's my time, my time. That line, I seen what they did to the kid like a missile. Was Kendrick referencing Kanye's industry blackballing? Was this Kendrick declaring war on the powers that be? Really? And the death bind line? Fans immediately began spiraling online, trying to decode if he was referencing artists who mysteriously died at their peak pop smoke. Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, Nipsey Hussle. Was Kendrick suggesting there's something bigger at play? Then dash boom. The music stopped. SZA picked up again, but this time her voice cracked. They told me to stay out of it. They told me to smile and dance and shake my hair for cameras. But one of the executives, he sent me a text. Told me if I didn't cut ties with Kendrick after Europe, they'd leak something I signed back in 2016. A contract that said I'd never speak out about. She stopped. Her lips trembled. Fans in the front row started crying, double quotes, ... about my mental breakdown. About what they did to keep me performing when I wanted to quit. I was 26. I begged to stop. The arena went dead silent. Even Kendrick looked shaken. But before she could continue, the LED walls suddenly glitched. The screen flickered with an Images symbol, a burning crown. Then everything went black. Security rushed the stage. Microphones were cut. One stagehand could be heard yelling, "They hacked the feed. It's been breached." And just like that, the show was stopped. But what happened next threw gasoline on the fire. A leaked video emerged just minutes later, posted on TikTok by a fan in Section 109. In it, Kendrick could be seen pulling SZA into a tight embrace while whispering, "I told you we had to do it here. London would feel us. They can't shut us down now." Then he looked directly at the fan's camera and said one chilling phrase, "It starts tonight." The internet erupted. Twitter exploded. Reddit was in flames. Theories ran wild. What was it? A revolution. A protest. A political movement disguised as a tour. Within 4 hours of that moment, hashtags were trending globally. Hashtag Kendrick SZA exposed the industry. Hashtag London was the beginning. Hashtag Protect SZA. Hashtag Who Were the Men Blackhand. Then came the biggest twist of the night. At exactly 2:17 a.m., Kendrick's official page posted and then quickly deleted a cryptic story. It was a quote. "The industry's silence has always been louder than its applause." Then a location tag, Compton, CA, and a date. August 15th. Is Kendrick planning something massive for his hometown? Is it a documentary drop? A public reckoning? Or is this an invitation for artists to break their silence? But wait, there's MOREA second leak hit at 3:08 a.m. A former PG Lang affiliate posted a screenshot of an email thread allegedly between Kendrick's camp and an unnamed label rep. The subject line? SZA settlement offer urgent. In the email, SZA was being offered $4 million to walk away from the tour and never speak about that night in London again, y'all. They tried to pay her off after that moment after. It happened, but she didn't fold. She reposted the leaked screenshot with one single word: never. The stage, the footage, the rap, the industry secrets, the hush money, the shutdown, the symbols. This wasn't just a concert. This was a battle cry. And if you think that's the end of it, oh no. What came next spread like wildfire through the media, turning this performance into a full-blown scandal that's now dragging other artists, labels, and even governments into the conversation because someone just exposed the next target. And that you'll hear about in Part 3, the morning after the London blackout. The entire entertainment world was on edge. Phones buzzing, executives sweating, and fans. Fans were foaming at the mouth for answers. The Kendrick and SZA situation had morphed into something far bigger than a tour controversy. This wasn't just viral. This was exposing a system, and then came the first name drop. It happened at 9:06 a.m. UK time. A verified burner Twitter account suspected to be run by a disgruntled former TDE producer posted the following. The London show was a warning. Kendrick and SZA didn't just rebel, they broke protocol. Ask LVRN. Ask RCA. Ask the exec who told SZA, "You're replaceable." He was at the O2 that night. He ran backstage when the screen flickered. He knew. Attached to the tweet, a grainy photo of a man in a gray suit, face partially hidden, rushing into the production pit seconds after the video glitch. Internet sleuths had a field day. Within an hour, Twitter had confirmed the man in the image. Kevin R., a senior A&R rep known for his involvement in disciplining artists who break branding contracts. According to one viral thread, Kevin had a history of issuing threats disguised as legal memos. One artist claimed he once told them, "We don't destroy careers, we erase them." Fans connected the dots. Was Kevin the same man in the surveillance footage shown during the London show? Was he the one who offered SZA $4 million to vanish? It was too specific, too perfect, and too real, and then dash. Boom. Out of nowhere, Doja Cat posted a now-deleted Instagram story that read, "Y'all better protect Kendrick Lamar." Y'all don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes. Wait. WHAT. Why would Doja Cat jump in? Was she another victim of the same system? Did she know more than she was allowed to say? Reddit threads exploded. One viral theory claimed that Doja was actually scheduled to open for the Grand National Tour at one point, but pulled out without explanation. Some even dug up a clip of her from 2023 in an interview, awkwardly changing the subject when asked about Kendrick's industry politics. And then, the burner phone leak. Late that night, an anonymous source emailed multiple media outlets a 58-second voicemail recording allegedly sent from a blocked number to a journalist at Complex.the voice. Allegedly Kendricks.com. Slow, intentional. They want us to fear the silence. But the truth don't sleep. We know who's watching. We know who's next. Tell them we're still coming. London was the fire starter. Berlin is the reckoning. Berlin, the next stop on the tour, y'all. He's threatening to do it again. But let's pause right there. Because while the world was spinning, another twist hit harder than anyone expected. SZA's labeler SZA released a sudden and suspicious statement that fans immediately called fake. SZA is currently resting and recovering after experiencing technical difficulties on stage. She remains committed to her fans and will continue the tour after a short break. Technical difficulties. People went off. At KDOTERA tweeted, "She had a mic and trauma." What's technical about that? At Queen of CTRL posted, "These people trying to gaslight us like we ain't see the blackmail footage on stage." Miss me. At Industry Burner added, "If RCA scrubs her London footage off streaming platforms, we know the gloves are off." And guess what? Within hours, every trace of the London performance began disappearing from YouTube, TikTok, IG, and even fan accounts. DMCA strikes were being issued rapidly, even to fan-shot clips. Some fans reported being permanently suspended from social media for sharing footage, but the community wasn't going down without a fight. A Twitter space titled "Protect Kendrick and SZA" gathered 32,000 live listeners that night. Multiple independent journalists spoke out, including ex-Vice editor Lamont Watts, who revealed, "We've known about this creative silence contract for years." To make things even wilder, someone leaked a partial set list for Kendrick's Berlin show. The titles: "Contract Killer's Intro," Silent Pressure PG Long is not your puppet. Goodbye, America. Burn it all feet. SZA fake. Possibly. But believable. Absolutely. And fans are already mobilizing. Posters have popped up in London, Amsterdam, and Chicago, with Kendrick's silhouette and the words, "You can't delete truth." Even public billboards are being bought out by fans showing red crowns with burning flames. SZA hasn't posted a word since London. Her socials have gone completely dark. No reposts. No stories. Just silence. And as Kendrick prepares for Berlin, security around the venue has reportedly tripled. Rumors swirl of undercover agents, corporate spies, and even media blockouts. But fans are ready. They say Kendrick and SZA aren't just performing anymore, they're exposing. And the next chapter, it's gonna drag even more artists' labels and secrets into the public eye. Because someone just leaked a message that names the next target. And it's someone we never expected. The aftermath of Kendrick and SZA's London shockwave didn't just rattle fans, it fractured the industry. Within 24 hours of the performance, Twitter X was a war zone. Hip-hop stans, music insiders, label defenders, and independent artists were tearing each other apart. One fan thread with 5.7 million views summed it up perfectly. Kendrick and SZA gave us a warning, not a concert. Drake mocked it. RCA tried to erase it. But fans, we're done being lied to. This ain't music anymore, it's resistance. And the hashtags. They weren't slowing down. They were mutating. New trending tags emerged. Hashtag Kendrick exposed the pyramid. Hashtag free say, hashtag who controls the mic, hash Berlin is next, hash music is the message. But then something truly wild happened. A clip went viral of J. Cole in an interview that was recorded weeks ago, predicting this exact kind of industry blowup. His quote, "When the truth hits the stage, a lot of artists gone wish they never took the bag. Some people gone perform, others gone confess." Fans lost it at CTRL for Life tweeted, "Wait, was Cole warning us? Was he in on it?" At Hip Hop Woke wrote, "This Kendrick SZA thing might be a bigger movement they've been trying to tell us." Suddenly, eyes weren't just on Kendrick and SZA. People began examining older lyrics, deleted tweets, interviews, anything that could hint at who else knew, who else had tried to speak and got silenced. But even as fans were digging for answers, industry suits were spinning hard. Music blogs started running suspiciously identical headlines. Kendrick's London show was just performance art. Insiders say, did SZA fake a breakdown for tour buzz? London leak might be strategic publicity. Claims PR exec. All of these stories were published by outlets known to have major label sponsorships. Coincidence? Fans didn't think so. Then came the moment that truly splintered the hip-hop world. Nicki Minaj went live on Instagram with 300,000 viewers and picked a side. While getting her hair done, she casually dropped, "I don't know what they expected. You push an artist too far. They either break or break the rules." Kendrick broke everything, and SZA, that woman is waking up, period. Boom. Instantly. Hashtag Nicki supports SZA began trending. But not everyone was cheering. Within minutes, a close Drake affiliate DJ freeze-fired back with a salty IG story. All this fake revolutionary mess. Meanwhile, numbers don't lie. Who's still winning? Who's still charting? Bro, now it's war. YouTube reactors were also jumping in on the drama. Some claimed Kendrick was orchestrating the biggest industry takedown in music history. Others feared for him. At Truth with Tammy posted, "Y'all need to pray for Kendrick and SZA. This is what they do to people who tell the truth. Watch what happens next." At Industry T uploaded, 10 celebs who went quiet after speaking out and how Kendrick might be next. Meanwhile, celebrity stylist Sod Moore, who worked with both SZA and Kendrick in the past, did an anonymous Reddit AMA, where she dropped this bomb. "I was there during early tour planning. This was never gonna be just a concert. Kendrick told us, by the end, they won't call it a tour. They'll call it a reckoning. We all thought he was being dramatic. Now, not so much." Even radio hosts were going off script. Hot 97s. Ebro said on air, "I've been in this game 20 years. What I saw on that stage, that wasn't just rebellion, that was liberation. If Kendrick disappears after this, no, it wasn't because he fell off. It'll be because he went too far." And fans were doubling down. Fan art flooded timelines images of SZA with angel wings, Kendrick with a torch and a broken chain. The words "you can't cancel courage" painted over the London skyline. One London muralist even spray-painted. Outside O2 Arena overnight, we witnessed truth. You tried to erase it. But with all the love and support came the shadow of fear. Because something darker started trending too. Hashtag where SZA had been 48 hours. Since she was last seen or heard from, her team released a vague update claiming she was resting in private. But fans weren't buying it, especially after a user from Berlin posted a video claiming to have seen a black SUV with California plates, tinted out, parked outside the Ritz-Carlton where Kendrick is staying. Was SZA hiding? Was she being protected? Or worse, was she being silenced again? And while fans scrambled for answers, a leaked tour manifest surfaced showing Berlin's setlist had been updated. The final song of the night. Death Contract reprise what? Does it mean? Nobody knows. But everyone agrees on one thing. Berlin is going to be even crazier than London. And one final rumor. It's got the whole internet holding its breath. A backstage audio leak, allegedly from a Grand National Tour engineer, captured Kendrick saying into his Macau stage right before London's performance, "We show 'em the truth tonight. If they stop the music, we speak louder. If they cut the lights, we burn the stage." What does that even mean? Nobody knows what's coming next. But everyone is watching. As the Grand National Tour's Berlin date approached, energy was frantic. News fans parked outside the arena 48 hours early. Paparazzi camped near Kendrick's hotel. Shaw was still completely silent. Security was reportedly being run by a private, third-party team flown in from the US one that refused to disclose their employer. But then, with less than 24 hours to showtime, an anonymous airdrop hit hundreds of phones in the area around. Berlin's Mercedes-Benz Arena, the file, KPDF titled, "They Lied to Us, 7 Artists Who Were Silenced." It listed names, dates, NDA settlement amounts, mental breakdowns, canceled projects, and at the very top, compiled by someone who used to believe the music mattered. The document named major artists, some alive, some gone, who allegedly tried to speak out and were forced into silence. One name stood out like a knife in the chest. Mac Miller. It claimed that before his death, Mac was working on an album that directly called out label manipulation, artist trauma, and the system of silence. A project allegedly titled The Fifth Floor. The PDF ended with one sentence. Kendrick knows. SZA saw the contracts. If this show doesn't happen, you'll know why. What? The file spread like wildfire. Screenshots hit X, Reddit. Everybody froze. The energy has turned dangerous, unpredictable. Fans are showing up to Berlin in protest gear. Some are bringing signs that say, "We're not afraid." Others are just scared. Scared for Kendrick. Scared for SZA. Scared that something real is about to go down. And with whispers that Interpol has been contacted to oversee crowd control for the show. The line between music and revolution is blurring fast. This was never about rap. This was never about rap. This is a war over truth, and Kendrick, he's not backing down. What happens in Berlin could change hip-hop forever, and the scariest part, no one knows if Kendrick's walking back off that stage ever again. This isn't just music anymore. This is a revolution playing out in real time. Kendrick Lamar and SZA didn't just put on a show in London. They set fire to the silence that's ruled the music industry for decades. The leaks, the threats, the whispers of blackmail. Censorship and psychological warfare-ites no longer theory. It's happening. And now the whole world is watching Berlin. But the question is, are you ready for what comes next? Drop a comment right now. Do you believe Kendrick is exposing the truth? Was that London performance the beginning of the end for the old system? Or is this something even more dangerous? Do you think the industry is trying to erase Kendrick before he finishes his message? Do you think SZA is in hiding? And who do you think is next to break their silence? This story isn't over. In fact, it might just be getting started. So make sure you hit that like button if you're riding with the truth. Subscribe if you refuse to stay in the dark. And turn on your notifications because we'll be dropping exclusive updates the second they break. We're digging into the files they tried to delete. We're uncovering the names they said never existed. And we're exposing the contracts that made millionaires and destroyed legends, because when they try to silence one voice, millions more start to speak. Next episode, what Kendrick left behind in Compton and why everyone is flying there right now. Stay tuned, stay woke, stay loud,